the Cold War, end of Soviet control. Eastern Europe. There were poor living conditions and food shortages, which had led to criticism of the communist leaders. The satellite states were demanding more change. They wanted glasnost and perestroika to exist in their countries, as did Gorbachev, but governments feared that this might lead to uprisings and threaten their authority. So the Soviet economy could no longer support Eastern Europe. Relaxation of control over these countries helped improve relations with America. In 1986, it was announced that Soviet tanks would no longer support communist governments when facing trouble. Poland. Despite being illegal, Solidarity continued to oppose the communist government of the 1980s. Lech Walesa was a prominent member who organized strikes for better working conditions. In September 1988, the Polish government entered talks with Walesa, which led to partially free elections. Walesa's party won all seats open to them, and the communists lost to win a majority. In 1989, the first non-communist government in a former satellite state was set up in Poland, and in 1990, Walesa became president of Poland. Hungary. From 1956 to 1988, the country was ruled by Kadar, as mentioned in GCSE videos. Forced to resign due to ill health, he died in 1989. Hungary gained some independence, such as trading with the West. Kadar was loyal to the Warsaw Pact, and after resigning, measures similar to glasnost started in Hungary. The first break in the Iron Curtain occurred when Hungary opened its border with the democratic Austria. In October, other parties were allowed to take part in elections. In 1990, the Hungarian Republic was made and free parliamentary elections were held. Czechoslovakia. In 1987, communist governments announced commitments to reforms similar to Gorbachev's. However, Huzak, the leader of Czechoslovakia, was not fully committed to glasnost and perestroika. In 1988 and 1989, there were demonstrations in Prague and Bratislava due to the slow progress of the reforms. Havel, a writer who criticized the government since Prague Spring, campaigned for change. He was supported by Dubček, which was ironic as he was responsible for the Prague Spring. When communism collapsed in Czechoslovakia in 1989, Havel was elected president. East Germany. Honecker, the leader of East Germany, refused Gorbachev's reforms. Thousands of East Germans fled through Hungary to the West Germany through its open borders. Gorbachev urged for the reforms, but Honecker refused. In October 1989, Honecker was forced to step down and was replaced by Krenz in an attempt to rid opposition, but this failed. Communist government had to resign in November and the border with West Germany was opened. In 1989, the Berlin Wall was smashed down by civilians, and in 1990, East and West Germany was reunited.